everyone, this is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we're going to look at the Play Arts Kai Batman Arkham Asylum Harley Quinn figure. Now I wasn't originally going to get this figure, I was going to hold out for the Arkham City version if they make one, but I got this for a great price on Amazon, and it actually turns out that it's a really good figure, so I picked it up to add to my Batman collection. As you guys probably know, I'm a big Batman fan. Let's get started with the review. She stands at 8 inches tall, so she's in good scale with Bats and the Joker, so that is always a plus. She comes with a few accessories, so before we get into the figure itself, let's look at those. She has this stick slash staff, whatever you want to call it. It's actually made pretty well. It's got the little gold rings around it. It's got wood grain throughout, and it has this clear crystal gem thingy at the top, so that's pretty nice. She has an alternate hand, which is more of a staff gripping hand for this thing, obviously. But if you look at her other hands, they're kind of just more open. They both work just as well, so it's really kind of not needed. Maybe if they gave her a different hand, that would have been better, but that's what you have, so no biggie. And the last accessory is the little Scarface Puppet that looks like Joker, which is done pretty well. I mean, there's tons of detail in it. And it has her hand stuck in the back. That's part of the mold, but it just swaps in like an alternate hand, so you can have her holding him like she's actually using the puppet. Like I said, he has really great sculpt and paintwork. His head is on a ball joint, so that's full range of motion. Shoulders are on cut swivel joints, and same thing for the legs. They didn't give him elbow or knee articulation, which would have been cool, because then you could have put him on a chair, like they do with puppets sometimes. But they didn't. Even though it looks like there's a joint there, there's not. So it's kind of a bummer, but still pretty cool little accessory. I'll probably never actually have her holding it, but he's there nonetheless. Okay, let's look at Harley herself. Before we get into the articulation and everything, let's look at the paint and the sculpt. Typically with Play Arts figures, they kind of screw up the faces. Maybe not always, but sometimes they screw up the face sculpts, the head sculpts. But this one I think looks pretty darn accurate. It's pretty much exactly the way it's supposed to look, so I don't have any complaints there. The paint app is good. She's got that kind of mannequin looking face, the white paint with the blush, the purple, what are those called, domino masks? I don't know what it's called, I don't remember, that might be it, I don't know, but she's got that. That's nice. The eye paint is done really well. And then the hair is textured and shaded nicely, the little candy striper hat. Really the head sculpt and paint is pretty much spot on. There's a little bit of extra white paint around the ears, and the ears are not painted. I assume that's how it is in the game. It's been forever since I played that game, so I can't say for sure, but I'm going to say that they didn't screw up with that, and it's supposed to be that way. I know we're not going to talk about articulation yet, but the hair is articulated. So if you want to pose her and move the hair around, you can do that, and it's soft, so it won't get in the way. So they did a good job with the head. The rest of the body as well, the paint app is pretty much the best, one of the best I've seen. There's tons of great shading throughout all the white parts and the red parts and purple parts, but it looks really good on the white, and the sculpt is just phenomenal. If you look at all the little details in there, they did a really good job. And of course, looking that close with the camera, you're going to spot flaws that you can't normally notice with the naked eye, so it really does look great in person. Even the badge is perfectly done. Let's see if we can focus on it. Arkham Asylum Quincy Sharp Warden. Now that's like maybe a 1/4 inch across this way in person. We can just check. Okay, maybe 3/8, but it's tiny, and it's really just about perfect, so they did a good job with that. And like I said, just the details throughout are really good. The little fishnet stocking things that she has on, done really well. Just great details throughout. The paint app is spot on, sculpt is spot on. Really no complaints. As far as articulation goes, she's got the double ball peg head, so full range of motion. Any way you want to go, you can do that. Like I said, the hair is articulated where it connects, so you can do whatever you want with it. I don't know why you would, but you can. The shoulders have the standard butterfly joint for the but Play Arts figures. They have that, which isn't bad. If you don't pull it out too far, it doesn't even look too awkward, so that's pretty good. And then of course there's a ball joint on that, a ball disc that's connected to the butterfly with a peg, so you can spin that around on there. And then of course you have the disc joint, which is ratcheted, so that's pretty nice. And then this has the bicep swivel built in at the top here. As you can see, it's a separate piece, so that rotates. Why is it so bright? Come on. So that rotates on there. It's kind of hard to do because the other joints just kind of want to move, but that rotates on the ball joint. And there's a bicep swivel down here, so that rotates as well. So really as much articulation as you could ever want in the shoulder bicep region. She's got the ball disc elbow, which rotates at the bicep, the forearm, and has the ratcheted hinge. Same type of joint for the wrist, only this is the more fragile version where it's only got the two parts, but it still rotates at the wrist and at the hand and is ratcheted. So that's pretty good. Be careful, those are a little bit fragile, but they're still pretty nice. Pretty okay. There is texture throughout all of the leather parts, so they did a really good job. The fingernail paint could be a little bit better, but it's not so much so that it's going to stand out when you're looking at the figure. She's got the standard double ball peg upper abdominal joints, so full range of motion there. Really anything you want to do, you can. It's got the standard T joint that goes into the abdomen here. It goes down and then has a joint for each of the thigh pegs, or whatever you want to call them. I can pull the legs off to show you, or at least one of them. So you can see the T joint goes up into the abdomen, so there's an extra joint inside here somewhere. And then of course the hips are both connected on the ball pegs. So full range of motion there, and then there's no rotation inside the thigh like there normally is right here. That comes down in the boots. I'll show you that once I get this back on. So instead of having the thigh swivel up inside near the hip like they normally do, it's down here, so that actually works pretty well because it's hidden completely and it's equally effective. So that's fine with me. So again, the hips and the torso and everything, full waist twist. Really all you need to do, I mean anything you could want to do you can. Double jointed knees. She does have the non-kneecap knee joints, but it actually doesn't look too bad for her because her legs are so slim that it doesn't stand out too much. So that's fine with me. It looks fine. I mean, it could be better, I guess, if it had a kneecap, but they're okay. And then the ankles are the same as the knee, or I mean, as the elbows and the wrists, where it rotates in the lower leg, in the foot, and then it has the ratchet as well. So full range of motion there. Really, the articulation and sculpt and paint depth makes this probably one of the best play arts figures I've seen. So it's definitely worth getting if you guys are Batman fans, if you're Harley Quinn fans, Joker fans. Anything that could give you a reason to buy this is probably a good reason because it's a really, really good figure. So I do recommend it. I suggest you go get it if you can, and if not, figure out a way to get it. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, more custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.